Hey everyone, it's Casey here. Gonna do a live trade update for everybody, just kind of see what you guys are interested in, and Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great year. What I wanted to do was start out by showing you how to set up an options trade today, and it's going to be on PayPal. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. I brought up the PayPal chart right here. Now you can see I've got a chart back here from September, and what I'm noticing is we get a pullback and an upper move, and it's a nice uptrend. The moves haven't been huge; they've been gradual moves, but recently, I mean, it's been pretty huge. It's just not straight up. Actually, if you go back even further, it's even bigger, because right here it was $82 in March. And so for a big stock like PayPal to go from 82 to 230, that's a pretty big move. That's pretty powerful. And so what we really want to see here is that this move will continue. And what I'm noticing now is that we're on the pullback. We had a pin bar, and now we have this other candle here, a bullish candle, looking like it wants to make a move. And if that's the case, it would probably go up to 244 and then beyond, okay? And so with that being said, we want to try to get in here. And so on the open, we can probably look for a trade. This is a planning. I like to plan before the market opens, and then I don't like to take the trade right away. I like to let the market settle in and then see what happens, because it can get a little erratic in the open. So give it like 30 minutes. Let's see if it drops. If it continues to drop, we might wait for it to pull back into this level, wait a couple days, because if you get a better price, that's better. And if you're trading in options, you want to move into profit right away. So what I'm going to do is, once you find your chart, you do your analysis, you kind of see what you want to look for. I personally believe that this is a great level for resistance. So if it goes below this, I still think it's a good trade, because we also have a trend line here, which kind of follows this 50-period moving average, and then here. So even if it drops below this, I still like this trade. It's just the timing of it, because the timing is really important. Okay, so anyways, we've got different levels identified. We know where, like, if it breaks below this 175, that's when I would get a little bit concerned and say, okay, this is a serious downtrend now. Or not downtrend, but correction. And it might go for some time, or it might take a while to get back up. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and take a look at the options. So I'm going to pull up this options here, and I want to give you a little description on how these options work. And the first thing we'll notice here, and this is going to be really basic, so anybody that's trading, even if you're a beginner, you can do this. All this means is that this is the date on which the option expires. So this one's January 8th. It has 4 days. This one's January 15th, has 11. This one's January 26th, has 18. This one's January 29th, has 25. This one's February 5th, 32 days. Okay, so you get the idea. So now one thing I want to show you the difference is, okay, and then strike, this column strike here, this is the main column we're going to look at. Strike is the price at which you buy the option, which means if you buy the option, right now the price of PayPal's trading for $230. If you buy the option for $230, that means you're trading for it at the money. Now, if it goes up, if you buy a call, that means you're expecting the money to go up, the stock to go up. If you buy a call and the price goes up to $240, that means it's in the money now, because you're going to make money. If the option goes down, then you're out of the money. Okay, and so when we look at we'll open this up and see these are all out of the money here, because the price gets less, 230. So the current price is 234, 232, 230, or I mean, rather they're in the money, my mistake. They're in the money because they're all these trades are in profit. These are out of the money, okay? And you'll notice that the further out of the money you get, the lower the option is, okay? And the reason that is because the price is further away from the actual stock, 237. And so the likelihood of PayPal getting to 237 before January 8th is very, very slim. And so that's why these are so cheap, right? So in order to make money on out of the money options, you have to get a quick spike and you have to buy a lot of them, okay? Because it might not go up a lot, but because they're so cheap, you can buy a bunch of them. So example, these 260 options, they're 19 cents. You can buy a lot of options for 19 cents. And so with that being said, it goes up very little. You can make a lot of money because of the pure quantity of options you have. Now, I want to also caution you here, if you do buy out of the money options, your risk is a great deal higher, because if it goes down even a little bit, this thing's going to drop to zero like you see, and then there's no way it's going to come back by the January 8th, and you just wasted all of your money. You lose everything. It's not like stock trading where if you buy $2,000 worth of stock, it goes down $5, you close it out for 2% loss. No, you buy $2,000 worth of options, you lose all $2,000. Okay, so do not misunderstand that. Okay, you have to manage your risk. So when you're trading options, you can buy a lot more on these out of the money, but it's way more risky. Okay, so when you buy in the money or at the money, 230, try to buy as close as at the money as possible, then your option is going to maintain value a little bit better, but you can't buy as many. Okay, so here you can buy $5.30, but this is still a lot cheaper than buying the share. Because remember, also another little thing is you have to times this by 100. So this is actually $530, because why? When you buy an option, one contract is 100 shares. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop down a little bit. Let's go to January 15th. Now you notice the 232 is 720, but if we go to January 8th, it's 530. Okay, and why does it get more expensive the further out you go? Well, it does that because you're buying more time. Okay, so now I have 11 days instead of just 4. So I have more days for the price to pop up. But again, there's something on here called time decay, and the closer you get to your option expiring, the less valuable the option gets, and time decay will eat up your profits. So you have to be in consideration of that. So that's just another risk of option. So if we go back again, January, now we have 18 days, the option's $8.65. So now one share is $865. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to April now. April's $21 a share, right, at $230. Okay, so here we go. Now, 100 shares of that is $2,000. So again, this is pretty expensive. So one contract is $2,000. So at this point, you might be better off buying shares, right? If you don't have $2,000, you might just buy 2 shares of PayPal at $230 or $234. But now here's where the big benefit of buying some long-term options is. So April's a long time from now. It could be trading at $300. Okay, it could be trading at $300 in April. Honestly, okay, and so because of that, we got to remember here. So 200. Let's just say it's trading at 300. That's $70 of profit. Okay. Now let's back this up. So this is $21, and this isn't an exact science, but it's a good estimation tool. Let's back this up. So we go up to 200. That's $30. Remember we were saying 70 total. So now let's back it up another 40. That's $74. So we could estimate that one share is now worth, one option is worth $74 if it goes to 300. Now, do you see that? So that's a $54 profit. Okay, so let's run some calculations here. Let me pull up my calculator and so you guys can see this. This is where the real power of options comes from. Okay, so if you buy it in April at $21, okay, so that's times 100. That's 2,100. Well, if PayPal goes up $70, which is $230 to $70 to $300, that's a $70 move. That's not double. PayPal already tripled this year. So it's possible. I mean, that's not too much to expect. So 2,100, okay, and then so now we just do it this way. We say, okay, it's $74 times 100. So our profit is $5,000. We just basically 3x this on one trade, all right, just by holding it long term and getting a really big move on the option. Okay, so that's really where the power of options is. And you know, in 3 months, you got 3 months. Let's see, April, that's 102 days. That's a lot of time to give yourself some room. So I prefer buying them out, even though they're a little more expensive, because it increases my risk of making a trade. 3 months isn't bad. I just recently lost a trade on NIO. And it's kind of sad because I bought it and I only gave it a 30-day time frame. And I bought it and it actually was higher than what I bought it, but I bought it out of the money. And it expired worthless because it was a $55. So I ended up losing the whole trade. And I personally wouldn't mind buying it at 55 because I think it's going to go up, but my timing was off. I bought it for 30 days. It just didn't give me enough time. I bought it on 12/1 and it didn't make the move that I was expecting. So that's the risk that you take when you do that. So one other thing I wanted to mention before I close the video, I wanted to mention here about out of the money. So let's go here to this April call and we look at out of the money. So this is 21. Well, if you believe that these calls, if you believe that it's really going to go to 300, if you're that confident, you can buy these calls for $3. Okay, so now let's run the calculator on this. This is where it really, really gets insane, guys. You buy it for $3. Well, we already know $3. 3 times 100. Okay, so you spend 300 and you can make 74. Okay, so you buy it at 3, it goes all the way up to 74. Well, then you're really making some money because now you made $5,000 or you made $7,100 in profit, but it's not the money that you make, it's the percentage ROI. That's like a 20,000% increase. Okay, do you see the power of that? Like you're 10xing your trade or more, right? That's where the power is, because now you could actually spend $2,000. You spent $2,000 on the first option. You could spend $2,000 on this one. So instead of buying $300 worth, let's just say we buy $3,000 worth or $2,000 worth. So how much is that? Well, we got $3. 3 goes into 21 or 2,000, 18 times, right? So we go 15 times 300. No, that's not much. So we'll go 7 times 300. That's 21. Okay, perfect. So let's just say we buy 7 contracts. So that's 700 shares for 2,100. Okay, now let's times that. 700 times 74. Now we made $51,000 on that one trade. Okay, so that's where the power of options is. $51,000, like seriously, that's $51,000. Now, it's higher risk, right? It's for the chances that it goes to 300 are slim. But if you do your research and you really find a great stock, well, then that's where the money hits. That's where the power comes from. Like, do you see that? That really makes a lot of sense. Okay, now, Just a couple announcements I know there's not a lot of people on here, but I'm going to be doing this live, and I'm going to be actually taking trades and showing people how to really grow their accounts. And so I'm going to do a challenge where I'm going to be attempting to grow my account into $1 million in 2021. And I'm going to be doing it live. I'm going to show you my trades, and I think it's going to be really good. So stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss that. Okay, because I think that could change the way that you trade if you watch me do this live. And of course, I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's actually a big risk. But hey, I want to try to do something exciting and get people motivated and help people really have success in trading. So I'm going to be doing that. So hit that like bell right now, and yeah, hit that like bell. And then hit subscribe to the channel. One other thing is I would appreciate your guys' prayers for Tim. He just let me know that he was diagnosed with COVID and could possibly have some other health issues, and I didn't want to release that unless he gave approval, but just keep him in prayer, because Tim is a great, faithful guy. He's been doing videos on this channel. He's a good friend of mine, and I just really am praying for his recovery. So if you guys could join me in prayer for Tim, that would be great. And we'll be seeing you guys on this challenge, because I'm really excited about it. So keep me posted. Let me know if you're interested. If you have questions, hit me up. And you also, it would be a good idea to follow me on Twitter too. I have that here on the screen. You can also click the link, follow me on Twitter, and I'll let you know whenever I go live there as well. All right. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you guys at the challenge.